Welcome to Lex's World, everybody, and today we're going to be doing an overview and giveaway of this beastly fold-out 30-pound LED grow light. This is the ROI-E680 by TSL Horti and Grower's Choice, and as usual, I'll link to this light down in the video description with a discount code that these guys gave me for you guys. But this is also the first time we'll be talking in depth about a commercial grade light, and it'll let me highlight the gap between something designed for home growing versus something designed for commercial use. I'm going to assume for the purposes of this that you guys know some basic lighting terminology, and if you don't follow, watch my lighting guides first and you'll catch right up. You notice the commercial gap differences right away, even as you unpack a peripheral box. Upon opening, I found good quality metal hangers, a detachable plug with a cord thickness that stands out immediately, plus a 120 to 240 watt plug adapter. On the light itself, where the 9-foot long power cord connects to the light with a metal connector, there's a dimming function with a heavy-duty dial that goes down to lower percentages of intensity, as well as a plug-in for a controller, which my unit didn't come with, but this light is compatible with most controllers. Of course, you can use the one by Grower's Choice as well. On the other end of this fixture is the other controller plug for daisy chaining. Looking at the big picture of this unit, this is a 42-inch by 42.4-inch light with Osram brand diodes. Lots of 3000K white and some red bands in there, as you'll see when I turn it on. This light has a very whitish hue and provides what I'd consider to be a full spectrum. This, while prioritizing even, uniform canopy coverage and energy efficiency above all others in this unusual design. See, the biggest complaint about LED lights that growers still throw out there, especially commercial growers, is that on the outskirts of the light footprint, most LED lights still underperform the likes of Gavita double-ended bulbs in intensity. PPFD value drops off a lot from the center under the light to the edge under the light. It's a reality in LEDs that most companies try to correct using different types of lenses on their diodes, but you'll quickly see how this model does it through design. So let's turn it on. To fix the par drop-off issue, diodes on this light are spaced out on long bars that provide fanless passive cooling. And as you guys can see, they're spaced out right to the corners. Yet, despite its hugeness, this light is only designed to illuminate about a 5x5 area max with a 4x4 core coverage. That's a lot smaller than you'd expect for such a wide light. So you get the idea. The goal here is to maintain strong par even at the corners, not to get a huge coverage area. To be precise, at 2 feet away from your plants inside a grow tent, the center under this light registers 950 ppfd, which is plenty. Out in the far corners, it still gets around 660 ppfd, also enough for proper flowering. At 18 inches from the canopy, which is still quite a bit above the minimum clearance, the center under the light registers over 1100 ppfd, while the corners and sides still average about 660 to 700. So those are impressive numbers all around for sure. That's the kind of light intensity you have to shoot out in those corners to compete with the likes of the Gavita DEs, which at its roughly $900 US price point and commercial grade features, that's exactly what the ROI-E680 is trying to do. It's supposed to be the equivalent of a 1000 watt or greater HID bulb while pulling roughly 680 to 710 watts from the wall. It's advertised at 680, but there's always plus or minus a little bit. I found about 705 watts. Now, some of you may be thinking that the fanless aspect of it, and hence the energy efficiency of it, is the biggest feature. Others may wonder how that efficiency compares to other fanless and flat style LEDs like quantum board lights. Well, in short, this isn't quite as energy efficient as a quantum board light. This light advertises 2.5 micromoles per joule, whereas, for example, that mid-range quantum board from a month ago I reviewed gets just a little higher to about 2.7 micromoles per joule. Those are both really good numbers, but strictly on efficiency, this is beaten by a typical quantum board. Yet, this light doesn't suffer from the relatively low intensity output that the quantum board lights suffer from. The par difference is night and day. Why? In short, due to the space that there is, the individual diodes that are in this light are bigger and they can be tuned to a higher intensity without overheating and provide lots of PPFD even at 2 feet away from the canopy. Another word on getting the maximum efficiency out of a light like this has the benefit of this dimming function right here. And the dimming function goes down to 80% or 60% or 40%. And this is very useful because that means that what you can do is you can drop this light closer, like below 18 inches from canopy, and then you drop the intensity down to 80%, for example, and you can save money while still hitting solid PPFD. In case you're wondering, at 80% intensity, it only chews through 540 actual watts. And you can still turn it down to 60 or even 40 and bring it in even closer, and you'll never have less than a 4x4 coverage, no matter how close and dim it's set up due to this design. Less weird and more nifty the more you look at it, right? Now, if that seems like a level of setup customization you could only really do properly with a par meter, that's kind of true, but that's the kind of customer this is meant for. The customer with a huge space, many of these lights all hooked into one controller, and a par meter in his hand. So there you go, guys. Let's turn it off a sec. Overall, this is an efficient, well-built commercial light with a weird but ingenious design that I wouldn't hesitate to use in a commercial space. It just has to be set up by somebody who knows what they're doing. The layman in a personal-sized tent should simply hang this light 24 inches away during the vegetative phase and 18 to 20 inches away during the flowering phase at 100% intensity, and they'll be just fine. Anyway, enough ogling at it, let's give it away. Today we're doing our usual contest with a twist. To enter the draw for this light, just leave a comment under this video, wherever you're watching it, the weedtube, Vimeo, YouTube, BitChute, any of those platforms count, and you're entered. The winner will have their winning comment replied to and have their name added to the video description. Entry comments have to be received by October 11th, 2019, and the draw will be on the 12th. But the twist today is this. Every comment that's made on a non-YouTube platform counts for 3 entries. That's right, triple up. And you gotta have an account on those platforms to leave comments there. The not-so-hidden message being that I'm trying to be a good internet citizen and promote non-YouTube alternatives. Alright, detailed rules and links to all those platforms down in the video description. Link to this light down there as well. I'll even try to link to some par meters. And that's the show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, subscribe, hit that like button, and we'll see you all next time.